Peace, world. What is going on? Sorry about the technical difficulties. Had a quick little hiccup. Peace to everybody. Hope everyone is doing well. Happy Friday. Welcome to Substantial Weekly. Of course, I am Substantial. Hope everybody's feeling great, man. Yeah, lots of goings ons, lots of updates, all that good stuff. Peace to everybody in the chat. Peace, what's going on? Peace, Michael Left. Peace, nice afro. What's going on? Soul Tiger, good to see you. C Cruz, what up, family? My man Warpath, aka Eric G. Joshua McGee, peace, what's going on? All right, that's what's up, man. Safe travels, bro. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. And hey, what up, nephew? Peace, what's going on, man? Good to see you up in here. That's what's up. Send my love to the family down there, all right? But yeah, man, peace to everybody. Happy Friday, all that good stuff. Again, welcome to Substantial Weekly. Man, if it's your first time to the channel, be sure to go ahead and subscribe, turn on notifications, yada, 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 all that good stuff. You know, you spend enough time in this space. I'm sure you know the routine by now. Today, man, there are some updates, stuff that we've already talked about. But first and foremost, wanted to remind you all, man, that Adultish is out right now, streaming on all platforms. Shout out to everyone who's been keeping the record in rotation, man. I greatly appreciate it. The love has been crazy. And also, man, we're going to talk about upcoming new merch and stuff like that. You know, of course, we have the deluxe edition vinyl that comes with 2 vinyls, and, you know, there's instrumentals on one and then the album on the other. But one thing we haven't seen yet is a lot of merch that has that cover art on it. We got the vinyl itself, and then we have the cassette USB, which has that artwork that's done by the homie Natural. Clap it up for Natural. Yeah, man. But I've been behind the scenes playing around with some ideas for merch that includes the artwork done by Natural. So I will definitely keep y'all posted on that, man. I was hoping to have it ready today, but it's been a crazy busy week. And, you know, yeah, man, just didn't have enough time to get to it today to launch it for Bandcamp Friday, which is all good. All right. But, yeah, man, on that note, let's keep it pushing and get into some things. All right. Let me bring this up on the screen. But, hey, man, shout out to everyone watching right now. Please let me know where you're tuning in from. I know Joshua McGee is on a flight right now watching. I appreciate that dedication, good brother. And safe travels to you, man. Peace. What's going on, Frank? Good to see you up in here. But yeah, man, let me know where you're tuning in from, and I hope all is well to everybody. While y'all are doing that, I'm bringing something up behind the scenes. All right, hold up. Go gadget. So, hold up. Sorry, 1 second. Taking a little longer than I anticipated. Got it. All right. Here we go. Go gadget. Too many things going on, son. All right. There it is. All right, here we go. For real this time. I know I done said that like 3-4 times. Yeah, I got. Oh no, I don't. In it. No, wait. In. Yep. Oh. All right, here we go. So yeah, man. Once again, it is officially Bandcamp Friday. Let me show you all the cool things on Bandcamp. For anyone who has not copped anything on Bandcamp yet, or has copped some stuff but been kind of holding off and hasn't supported the way they want to. That's what we're gonna say. But yeah, man. Let's bring all of this up real quick. Hold on 1 second, everybody. All right. So yeah, man. Real quick, going to the champ. Hey, little bruh, peace. What's up, man? Maryland in the house. That's what's up. Yeah, watching Stanley. Man, it's a different type of loyalty right there, fam. Ottawa in the building. Peace. What's going on? That's what's up. But yeah, man. So as I mentioned, this is the Bandcamp channel. Slight update to the banner and stuff. Just took the coming soon down. Finally, it's been up there forever. But yeah, man. So of course we got the Adultish vinyl, which all of you have seen at this point. You all know that we have the CD available, and then we have the USB cassette Bang, bang. Of course, the sneaker is still available. Yeah, man, there's been a couple people behind the scenes that let me know they were trying to save up so they could go ahead and cop it. So I decided not to take it down yet. I do want to take it down because it's a bit of work making sure everyone gets that. We dealt with a situation where someone's address wasn't exactly the way it needed to be in order for it to get delivered properly. And then they had to ship it back to the manufacturer. And that is never a good look because even though they refund the money, I have to repeat that whole process of putting in that order. It is not automated. So, just giving y'all heads up, man. I'm not going to pretend like I don't get a profit from this stuff because I do. But that little bit of time that it takes to process certain orders when it's manual and not automated is definitely valuable time. So please make sure you take the time to put in your address and all that information correctly so we can avoid stuff like that, especially with the sneakers because it takes about a month just to get them manufactured and shipped out to you. And so if there is an issue like that, it goes back and then there's like about a week and a half of them having to giving you the chance to correct the address. And if they are unable to do that, they send it back to the manufacturer and then they refund the money. And so I can't pre-order it I can't reorder it for you until you correct your address. And then also, correct your address. And then they refund the money and I've received that and then I have to reorder. So yeah, man, that hasn't happened a lot. It did happen one time and the person, they ordered a while ago. I'm talking about like back in July and they still don't have the sneakers because we had to repeat the whole process. So just something to keep in mind. Of course, we have the shirts available, different colors. All right. Bang, bang. Hoodies still available. And what was it? Shirts. Shout out to Early, been out here representing. I appreciate it. Of course, we got the snapbacks if you haven't grabbed yours yet. And then we got the full discography. The test pressings are officially sold out. So other merch that is up here, you can go over to the merch button and check out all of the different things available on the site. If it says sold out, I'm pretty sure somebody's still going to hit me up and ask about it anyway. But if it says sold out, it's gone, fam. And I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But we got a lot of cool things up here for you to support if you are interested. All right. Shout out to those of you looking at it like, man, I got all that stuff, son. You know what I mean? I can't do nothing with what you got there, B. I already got that. You know what I mean? If that's you, I appreciate you. You're a different level of supporter, man. You know what I mean? And those of you who want to do it but haven't got around to it, I love y'all and appreciate y'all too, man. It's all love. Let's see. Oh man, he says, I'm so satisfied with the snapback, man. It's fly as hell. Yo, thank you so much. Man, shout out to everybody who's been rocking the merch proudly. Shout out to Steph, who copped the hat too, and Javier, not Starks, but DJ Hive, who came through, copped the hat. And the folks that's been like really, really repping for the project and supporting the merch, man. I'm glad everyone loves how things came out. Yeah, man, it means a lot. You know, which reminds me, man, let's go back to Bandcamp in a second. Let me bring something back up on the screen because I definitely want to talk about this. And this is why reviews are important. So those of you who support on Bandcamp and took the time to write a review, man, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate all of you, but definitely those of you who have taken the extra time out to support in different ways, whether it was Kickstarter, writing a review, whatever it is you did, man, to support this project. Thank you so much. But I wanted to read this recent review because, man, it'd be the little things behind the scenes that might not seem like a big deal for some of y'all, but yeah, man, I'm putting in a lot of work, and so when it gets recognized, man, it warms my heart. You know what I'm saying? It makes my whole heart happy. So let's bring this up on the screen real quick. Saying mine's still in plastic. That's what's up. What's the design on your shirt? Oh, quick sidebar. Let's lift that up real quick. Boom, boom. We got the Boba Fett joint. Boba Fett, pardon me. Saying that joint. Boom, boom. Fly joint. Copped it. Last time I was up in Brooklyn at this comic book store called Bulletproof Comics that I always hit up when I go see the aunties up there. Yeah, man. Glad you digging the shirt. Let's see. Nice Soul Tiger. I had to wear it. Word. Got the family in the back. But yeah, man. Says I wore my substantial hat when I was down in South Carolina a couple weeks ago. That's love. Thank you, fam. So look, oh man, thank you. I'm glad you like the shirt. So let me put this on the screen. Got off topic real quick. We're gonna circle back. Hold up. All right, boom. Put this up right now. So yeah, man. So right in that corner, there's a review by Stephen Lang, and this is what he said. And this is why these reviews are important. So for people who may have concerns with how things are shipped to them and other things, this is why it's important. Just got my copy of Adultish vinyls, and first things first, the packaging was great, and the record shipped outside of the beautiful sleeve, so no spine damage occurred. So little things like that, right? So for those who don't understand what they're referring to, when I was shipping vinyl, like not even, I would say not even too many years, not even like maybe 2-3 years back, I think in the last few years, I learned that it's better to ship vinyl by pulling the records out of the sleeve, out of the cover, and making sure that, because quite frankly, I almost feel like when you put Fragile on the record, it's encouraging them to just toss that joint like a discus. Like, you know what I mean? Almost like they like, oh, it's word is Fragile. Let me kick it down the steps. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, it's, yeah, man, it'd be little things. It'd be, I try my best to get it to you all safely, but I can't control what happens in between, the post office I dropped it at and it getting to your place. And some of you live on the other side of the world, so it's a long journey before it gets there, and a lot can happen. But when people recognize the fact that I'm doing what I can and taking that extra time, because, to do things like that, to open up the resealable package, take the vinyl out, sign it, take the whole cover, take the record out completely, sign it, take the vinyl out of the sleeve, replace it back into the package in a way that doesn't damage the packaging after signing it, making sure that the ink is dry or the marker's dry. All of these little things, man, like it's a process, and clearly I'm a glutton for pain. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I know that you all appreciate the time, and it was great to see someone acknowledge that, because that's, it's little things like that a lot of people don't fully appreciate, and they don't realize how time consuming that is when you're dealing with hundreds of records and sometimes thousands of records. And so yeah, man, thank you, Steven. I appreciate that love. But shout out to everyone who wrote a review for the record, man. The love has been tremendous. All of these different reviews on the album have been really, really great. And yeah, man, I'm glad y'all are enjoying it. All right, so we're going to keep it moving. We're going to talk about something a bit different. And unfortunately, I haven't resolved the issue on my end. It's a technical issue that they are trying to fix. And I'll tell you who they are in a second. I just want to make sure this works. Okay, got it. So what you're looking at right now, there's supposed to be my album cover up there, but it's not showing up yet. But there's a new service that came out, and it's called DemuPro. And what you're looking at right now is the Demu Jukebox. Now, those of you who've been following me for a long time, you know that I'm a part of a group called Extended Fam, and that group consisted of me, Tone Deaf, Pack FM, and my man Session. Shout out to Session. Session, for those of you who don't know, has gone on to run a number of businesses very successfully. Was responsible for a lot of different things behind the scenes, he had an agency or whatever, like a modeling agency, and was responsible for some of the people that you saw in certain music videos and things like that. So Session has gone on to be really, really successful. Not too long ago, man, he hit me up and told me about this new idea that he had that dealt with the blockchain. I've been a spectator for quite some time, watching things happen in that world before jumping into different types of, deciding what coin to potentially invest in, deciding whether or not I wanted to do NFTs, deciding all of these different things, just trying to be as well versed as possible, and make sure that, you know, because it is a scene that is exciting, like in terms of what's happening there, but there's also a lot of suspect stuff that happens behind the scenes where people have lost their wallets and different things, and lost thousands, sometimes more. So yeah, man, like I said, been slowly watching, deciding like how involved I wanted to be, if at all. And when Session told me what he was looking to do, telling me that he wanted to do something with Web3 that allowed people to support different musicians in a way that was, you know, not just beneficial to a business that he was looking to start, but beneficial to artists, because he himself was a recording artist. And that's how he came up with DemuPro. And so it's a new service that allows you to attach your wallet, your wallet with your coin in it, and you can purchase certain albums and stuff like that and keep them as collectibles. And they launched it earlier this week. Some of you may have seen me talking about it on X, formerly known as Twitter. And yeah, man, it's really dope what they're doing. So obviously I'm new in the space. And right now, Adultish has been added to the service. So for those of you who are in that space and want to support, you can definitely check out the site. It's basically, hold on, I will give you the link in a moment. It's jukebox.demu.pro. All right, is the site. You can take a look around. It's still fairly new, and they just launched. It's you know, so I'm sure there'll be like some bugs and stuff like that. Like for certain people, they're able to see all the cover art, no problem. For whatever reason, on my end, it's not showing up. But something new is something exciting. I've already been getting support over there, and that's been really, really dope. So yeah, man, it's interesting. I don't know how many of you are like dealing with crypto yet, dealing with cryptocurrency yet, but yeah, man, like I said, I'm in the space right now, and it's been interesting to see, to say the least, you know. So anyway, let me know your thoughts, feelings on it. I'm doing more updates. Definitely check out what they're doing. Shout out to Viper Records. They're also involved. They recently launched a new song on there with Cormega and Nas. The beat is crazy on that joint. So I got to hear that when they premiered it the other night, and they're doing like limited collectibles for that. All right. So yeah, man, let's keep it pushing. Hey, what up, ladies and gentlemen in the chat? I see we have been joined by the illustrious Stephanie Gale. Clap it up for my sister from another mister. It's Stephanie. I don't make it sound as good when I sing it, you know what I'm saying? But you know, Steph's in here, so I just wanted to say what's up. All right, hold on. She on the orange line too. Travel safe. All right, have a safe journey home. Let's see. It says I'd like to try it, but I'm worried I'd not know what I'm doing at all and lose a bunch. Yeah, indeed. I mean, like I said, man, I've been meeting with people. I've literally had I don't know how many hours at this point, but there were points of time where I was having about 4 to 6 hours worth of conversation / meetings a week with people in this space. So sometimes 30-minute conversations, sometimes 3-hour conversations, different appointments with different companies trying to bring me into the space and get my music and do NFTs and different things. And I've been hesitant because I know there have been certain concerns with the space, you know, so I definitely respected that and took my time to learn. But my biggest thing is I wanted to be a part of something that was actually people trying to do what they can to do right by artists. And that's something that I see happening with Demu, where they definitely have the artists at the forefront, and they are genuinely concerned about making sure artists get what they deserve. And so, yeah, man, it's definitely interesting. Like I said, I'm still learning. It's one of those things that, you know, I'm looking up different information like daily, watching, like, you know, it's almost like watching the stock market, where you're watching whatever coin you have or whatever either lose or gain value, and like you'll look into your wallet, say no new money has come in, And based on the value of that coin or whatever, like whatever you had in your wallet yesterday, it might go down, it might go up. And so the best way I can describe how that works, and I'm not gonna like keep y'all here too much because I know everyone's not into this. And like I said, I'm not necessarily the best representative of the space because I'm still learning myself, as everyone is. But think of it almost like if you have different currencies, right? Currently, let's say you got dollars. Let's say you actually, like, I know some people who invest in gold, like who actually purchase gold. Then there are cases where like you'll have, if you traveled to Japan recently, right? Or you traveled to London. So you have like pounds, you have yen. Now, depending on what money you have, right? Based on how things are going in that country, politically, the stocks, all of these different things, the value of that coin, of that currency goes up and then it goes down. Most people don't have that experience though. Most people aren't sitting around with different types of currency just readily available to them. So they don't understand that. So like there are times literally where I'm doing business with certain countries, and depending on how the market is doing, I will either tell them to pay me in their currency, and maybe I keep it like that until the conversion rate like shifts, or like I'll tell them specifically to just pay me in dollars because right now their currency is actually is down. So I'll tell them pay me in US dollars instead of their currency. So you watch things like that to make like educated decisions, and that way you get the most bang for your buck. You know what I mean? Anyway, all right. Born dry stuff that clearly a lot of y'all, based on how dry the chat is right now, are not interested in. So we're going to keep it pushing. But yeah, man, just wanted to let you know the music is now in that space. So again, that is for people who are interested in learning more about that space. I'll definitely be updating you more as I get more information and as I do more interesting things over there. All right, let's keep it pushing. All right. Very smart, Sensei. Hey, sis, I appreciate it, man. Listen, lifetime learner. You know what I mean? I don't care how much older you all get, how old we get. You should be constantly working to increase your, you know what I mean, like your knowledge, like learn more. When people are talking about something, it may not be, and this is what I always find, right? There are certain times where conversations happen with people and they're not interested in that thing, so they completely shut it down, even when it's coming from someone that cares about them. And they'll just hit you with the, oh, I'm not interested, so I don't really see the value in that, and just keep it a buck with you. I don't really care. And I've had those moments a lot because obviously I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to certain things like dealing with Star Wars or like comic books, anime and stuff. And there are certain homies of mine that just aren't interested. But what I find interesting is that those same folks, when there's a person that maybe they see differently, I'm not saying they love, like, or respect that person more than me, but when it comes to certain things, they do. And that person sometimes has the language to put something in the context where that thing that they didn't quote unquote care about, now all of a sudden they're interested, right? And so just try to tell people that even when you're not fully interested in something, depending on who it is that's bringing it to you, take time to listen, because they might drop a gem on you that's extremely valuable that could make a huge difference in your life if applied a certain way. Or there may be something there, man. Quick sidebar I'll hit y'all with as a good example, right? One time I'm taking an Uber. This story time. Here we go. I'm taking an Uber somewhere, and the woman who's driving me, she's an elder. She's a bit older than me. I asked her how she was doing. She expressed that things been tough. I got some concerns with my grandson, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, I hope things work out for the best. She was like, yeah, he's struggling in school. He doesn't like to read. I mean, he reads, but not really. And I was like, what's that mean? I'm an educator, so I was curious. And she was like, he reads comic books and stuff. And I'll be talking to his parents about it. And I'm like, that's not really reading. And I'm like, well, have you read a comic book before? And she's like, no, I know it's kids stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, you definitely haven't read a comic book. So I proceeded to tell her, I was like, listen, I respect what you're saying. And obviously this isn't my family, so I can't tell you what to do. But I do know comic books, right? And I told her, I was like, quite frankly, I probably have read more comic books in my life than I have general books, right? And, one of the things is, I was like, if you're a person who's into science and different things like that, now, obviously, it's science fiction, so not everything in it is based on facts and things that actually exist. However, there's a lot of ideas, metaphors, and there's a lot of scientific terms in these books that sometimes require people to be a bit sharper than the average. And I can tell when I have conversations with fairly intelligent people about some of these concepts and how they don't understand the metaphors, right? Like they don't understand how, we talk about like the X-Men, and we talk about like it being a metaphor for the civil rights movement and so many other examples, right? So I started dropping all of this stuff to her, and just kind of got on my soapbox for like a good 5 minutes in this drive. And she was like, wow, how old are you? And I told her, and, she was like, baby, I never thought about it like that, and I appreciate you for saying that, because, I want to go back and talk to them. And I just told her, I was like, not just talk to them. It's like, if they know you and they know your interests, they might know of a book that might pique your interest. And it's not to get you into comic books, but it's so that you could read the one and maybe have a different perspective on how valuable this is to helping this child advance a bit more. But it's important to support what they're interested in, even when it doesn't always align with what you're interested in. So take the time to learn about it, because that will put a wedge in between those relationships. So I know that was a super tangent and stuff, man, but yeah, just, something that I try to check people on, man. Like, they want you to care about certain things that they care about, but then check out when you're talking about things they don't care about. And it's just like, yeah, fam, you got to learn to meet somewhere in the middle, because there's value to all of this stuff. You know what I mean? Anyway, all right, let's keep it pushing. Let's check in with the chat real quick. Sounds like I was late to the good stuff, but I will respect the rewind button later. All right, man. Hey, CJ, good to see you in there. I think the last of your physical merch should be arriving within the week, which means your special package that I'm going to make a whole video for should be on its way within the next week, if it shows up on time. So obviously look out for an email from me. You should hopefully be getting that soon, man. I appreciate your patience and your support, family. Let's get to another comment. We never stop learning and shouldn't close off to any information when given freely. 100%. All right. Yeah, man. Just like your lyrics from Say Less. Forever student. That was my father's life motto. Respect to him. Sounds like a wise man. Yeah, man. All right. Hey, Malik, peace. I hope I'm saying it right, man. I always assume it's Malik and not Malek or Malik. You know what I mean? I've heard it said different ways over the years, so I hope I'm saying it right, brother. All right, but peace to you. All right. Salute. Was able to get back when Stan released the seasonal code on the merch site. Word. All right. The more you know, substantial edition. Appreciate you, yo. All right, so let's keep it pushing. Hit you with some quick reminders, and I'm gonna get out y'all way and let y'all enjoy y'all weekend. Hold on. Nice Afro says NFTs are a few years old now, so hopefully people are more aware of the shady stuff, but still best to be cautious for now. Good luck. Indeed, 100%. That's why, like, even though I'm in this, entered this space, I haven't gone super hard pushing it on you all. I've heard people say, yeah, man, like one thing I pushed back on when one homie brought it up, and I'm sorry, like, just out of the blue got the sniffles. But yeah, man, one thing a homie said to me that I pushed back on, he was just talking about how irrelevant these certain things in the music industry are going to be or currently are, and how no one's getting paid, via that thing anyway, and blah, blah, blah. Folks need to start adopting this now. And I was like, yo, you make it sound like it's one or the other. And then he was like, yo, it is, because, that stuff, you know what I mean? Like, yo, we got to bring down these systems, this, that, and the third. I was like, listen, I hear what you're saying, and I respect it. But I'm gonna disagree with you on that. Like, it has to be one or the other, right? Like, until on this side of things, we learn how to make it so that people can also receive royalties from other things they're doing through like cryptocurrency if they choose, or like, be paid for gigs that way and have their publishing reported that way, right? It's like you can't really fully adopt it just yet because it's so new. And so, and it's one of those things that, like, in some cases, it isn't even always clear how to cash out when you're ready to cash out, right? That seems to be like the last part of the conversation, because people want to kind of stay in the space, and they don't I don't hear a lot of conversations a lot of times, because I bring it up in a lot of spaces, but people don't always talk about the cashing out process, where, like, let's say I don't want to take all of it out, but I want to take some of it, and then I want to reinvest it somewhere else, because in this other space, I'm not able to invest in that space using cryptocurrency. So that's something that should be very clear and shouldn't be cryptic, right? Like, and why isn't there more conversations? And it's because more people trying to bring you in, bring you in. And then folks rush in blind. Something bad happens. They lose all their coins, and then they're back to square one. And so I just really was just explaining to them. I was like, yo, and then, you're trying to bring a lot of musicians in this space by saying, yo, yeah, folks ain't making no money over here, so you need to be over here because people making this, that, and the third. And I had to push back and tell one dude, I was like, fam, I was like, some people aren't making money over here. That's important, right? Like, you're speaking as if all artists are just flat broke, right? Now, let's be clear. It's a struggle. I'm not making it seem like I'm the most caked up person in the world. It's still a struggle from time to time, right? But at the end of the day, I figured out ways to navigate the space in a way that's a little more lucrative than most artists who are about at my level. You know what I mean? Like, I've found different ways or whatever. And I would say that there are artists that are probably bigger than me, like maybe 10 times over, where even though I get a fraction of the press, like, based on certain conversations I've been behind the scenes with some artists, I oftentimes learn that we're making the same money without, me being as big. So what I had to tell them, I was like, yo, stop trying to use the pitch of, because you're not making any money over there, you should be over here. You can make money, because how do you bring in someone who is making money over here if all you're talking about is, yeah, F that, cut all that off, this is where you need to be. You don't even need to. I'm like, nah, why? That's not that business. Why I need to take everything and go over there? Why can't I live in both worlds? If one world isn't horrible to me and I'm doing okay, why would I just cut off all of that income to try to do all of that over here? And so, yeah, man, there's some people in the scene, man, this shit ain't for everybody. You know what I mean? That was a long-winded way of saying, like, this ain't for everybody. So, yo, just, for anybody who's looking to kind of come over into this world, I would say, take your time. There's no rush. There's going to be a lot of people that try to pitch you and make it seem like, nah, you got to do it now, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, do it when you're ready. You know what I mean? You decide what's best for you. There's definitely potential. All right. All right, cool. Glad to know I got it right, Malik. All right. There's definitely value in everything given. Just got to see how it perceived, whether it's good or bad. 100%. All right. Warpath says, oh, speaking of merch again, I wanted to say thanks for getting the hat out so quick, Stan. It shipped and arrived way before the expected date. That's dope. I'm glad that worked out, brother. All right. Yeah, man, I'm trying to get out the stuff that's easy to get out, that doesn't, the Kickstarter stuff is a little more complicated, because I got to take time to read through every survey that's been completed. And then I caught like certain typos. There were certain things that was included in certain people's surveys that shouldn't have been there. But because I want to honor the fact that, the moment you fill that out, it implies that you're supposed to get it. So it has, and this is talking about the postcard. I given a bunch of the, included the postcard in a certain level of rewards, but then realized that it was in some of the smaller surveys. It's not in most people's joint, but still, I was like, yo, so it takes time to write off each postcard to make sure I give the shout outs to people who are due a shout out. I am going to do the video shout out soon. I've decided instead of doing individual videos, I'm going to do one shout out video that goes through all the names. You know what I mean? So because it's not a ridiculous amount of y'all, so I'm gonna just include that all in, so I can get back to the other work of getting the physical stuff out a bit quicker. So yeah, man, but it's definitely it's taking some time to get everything together. Yeah, that's how it is for newer, innovative stuff, unfortunately. Indeed. All right. Yep. All right. So let's get into some of this other info. Shazam. All right. So things I reminded you about last week. Let's get it up here. So September events. Now, one event isn't up here. Let me bring it up behind the scenes. Hold on. Let's see if I can find the site so I can show you. But yeah, but this event that you're seeing on the scene on the screen right now, I'll be performing at Anime USA, which is happening in Arlington, Virginia. Details will be posted really soon. I'm waiting for them to see if they have like the official information. But we're basically doing another Hip Hop 50 celebration, but more so around folks in this particular space. Obviously, there's so many artists we'd love to have out, but everybody's not going to be there, right? But the ones who will be there, it's going to be Shingo 2. I will be performing. Asheru, the homie DJ A-Rock, his group Full Rock, they're going to be performing, and a few others. So this is going to be a pretty epic show. It's happening the weekend of September 22nd through the 24th. The show will be happening on Saturday night. So definitely head over to Anime USA's website so you can go ahead and grab tickets for that. If you're not into cons like that and you don't want to be there the whole weekend, you can just cop tickets for the one day, just for Saturday, and come to the concert that night. I will be selling merch all weekend though. All right, so hope to see you there. Should be a great time. All right, other things going on. I already updated y'all on this. So what's really dope, hold on, I'm gonna bring this up on a different screen because I want y'all to see where we are now. Updating y'all on this Kickstarter stuff. Up in here. All right, I think I got it here. I'll wait for that to load, and then we'll switch the screen. Boom, boom, boom. All right, cool. Let's close that part. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm about to show you something that I am really, really happy on the progress made on this thing. Because it's been a long time coming, man. And hold on, waiting for it to pop back up. All right. This joint's tripping. Had the thing ready, and then it went and did something to make me look bad in front of company. Hurt my heart. All right, hold on. Got it. Huh. Oh. I think I got it. No. I had it, and then I didn't have it. Hold up. Switching. Too much, man. I need to clone myself, son. This is crazy. So let me go to the chat while this is loading. It's still at 89%. Shut up, Steph. It is not at 89%. That is the whole reason I'm trying to show you the thing. And I hate your guts. I hate your guts. All right. Here we go. Should pop up now. Still at 89%. I'm gonna fight you on site, Steph. On site. Here we go. Adding to the stream. Let's expand that, and we're gonna scroll down so you all can see a bit more. All right, so it is not. That's strange. Why is it not doing it? Oh, I know why. All right. So as you can see, Steph, we are no longer at 89%, ladies and gentlemen. We are at 90%. 90, Steph. 90. Because I believe in the people. And we have some progress. So just to give y'all context as to where we were before, we were at 89% in terms of surveys complete. Now we are at 90, right? We had, hold up, let me see if I can zoom in so we can see that. We had, I think it was like 143, and now we are at a mighty, I say, 144 surveys complete. So now we only have 16 as opposed to 17, you know. Progress, yes, that is right. It is progress. You know what I'm saying? We are moving. That is a big milestone, son. We moved 1%. One. I'm proud of y'all. You know what I mean? Because together, all things are possible. But here's the big number. Here's the big number. We were at 26% shipped for Kickstarter. We are officially at 55. So almost doubled. Actually, no, more than doubled since the last time, since last week, last Friday when I updated y'all. So we've more than doubled the amount of packages that have shipped. Keep in mind, in the midst of shipping all of these packages, right? I'm also shipping the Kickstarter pack. I mean, not the Kickstarter, the Bandcamp packages as well, and then also orders that happen through the Sub Art and Music store. So Kickstarter alone had like 60 plus back orders, right? So if you combine how many packages I've sent between these two sites, it's well over 100 packages that have gone out in the last week or two. So man, it's been hectic, but who are these people? Fam, listen, there have been cases where I've had to physically link up with people to hand them their stuff, right? Because some of the people who supported are my family. Some of them are people of a certain age who've never used Kickstarter before, so they don't understand the process. There has been like one instance, she was having technical difficulties when she logged in, and it wasn't showing her the survey anymore. So we had to work it out. But I literally, some cases folks don't always get back quick enough, and I'm working fairly quickly behind the scenes on my end. So yeah, man, I just went through, found her address through Patreon, and then found her address through through Bandcamp, and just hit her up. Was like, yo, which one of these is it? And then she just was like, yo, I'm so sorry, it's that one. I was like, there we go, cool, got you. I'll get it out to you. So yeah, it's definitely been more leg work than I anticipated. And I've done a bunch of Kickstarters before, but this one in particular has been a bit challenging in terms of getting people to come through. And keep it a buck with you, there has been times where I've done Kickstarter joints where certain people just never filled it out, and people forget. So like they never got their merch, or they didn't get their whatever their perk was because they ultimately didn't fill it out. And and it's unfortunate because like I had one person that they remembered like I think 3 or 4 years after the fact, and by then the project had sold out. And I was just like, fam, I showed them a bunch of emails. I was like, here's all the times I emailed you. Here's screenshots of the survey thing, the messages that I sent you on Kickstarter. Like, yo, you had enough time, fam. Like, you had enough time, and I definitely tried. And I know it's not 100% your fault, and it's not mine. But, it's like we got to be realistic, too. And so my goal is always, when people support, to get it done within that year. So if it's ever a campaign that I'm controlling, I've done this enough times to know that it shouldn't take more than a year in some cases to deliver. But that's also usually because when I do these campaigns, I usually have not most, but like a good amount of what needs to get done before I launch. I try to take care of whatever I can do ahead of time that doesn't have huge upfront costs. So that way the wheels are already in motion. But yeah, man. All right, those days off, working all day, all night. Man, listen, it's a struggle. It's a struggle, but it got to get done. Steph said they're keeping us from winning. They won't let us be great, Steph. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, so that's the update with that. So before we get out of here, definitely Q&A time. So if y'all got any questions for me, y'all want to chat about Adultish, man, like any questions, any burning questions related to the project, feel free to ask, man. I know a couple people have been hitting me up and stuff to talk about certain things or just kind of curious about blah, blah, blah. And then there's been a couple. I think the coolest part has been the amount of people who didn't realize, like, who still don't realize, because people don't read credits and a lot of folks don't watch Substantial Weekly. So there's a lot of people who don't realize that I did all the beats. And so bumping into those folks and or like seeing them comment online, like one person was like, yo, Uyama killed the beat on Lost Touch. And I'm like, no doubt, like Uyama contributed, but I actually made the core beat, sent it to Uyama, and then Uyama added bass line. Uyama replayed certain parts of the piano that I chopped to put on there. There was a guitar sample. There was like this Spanish guitar sample that I found. It was actually not even Spanish guitar. It was I forget what country. It was like a Eastern European country where this string instrument was from. But I chopped it in a way that made it sound like Spanish guitar. And I guess when Uyama heard it, he decided that like instead of going with him playing sax on it or clarinet, he was like, yo, I'm gonna play guitar. And so, yeah, and then he killed that. But like, there's a lot of the foundation that like, if I don't do what I did, does Uyama do what he does, right? So, yeah, man, it was super dope. And then there's like little bells and whistles that Tone put in there as well. The drums, Malcolm Jackson actually sent me a few drum loops some time ago. And so I literally went in and chopped pieces of his drum loops and made the drums. It's still the sounds he played, and it's somewhat of the pattern he played, but I took out certain parts, rearranged others. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. But the cool thing is, like, I'm so good with it at this point that, like, when Homeboy said that, I think old me would have been like, nah, son, and did the long explanation I just did for y'all. But I just, was just like, thank you. You know what I mean? Gratitude. That was it. I'm like, yo, if you hear that song and you think that the beat is so amazing that you feel like you just assume that Uyama did the whole beat, fam, Uyama's amazing. I'll take that as a compliment. You know what I mean? Because I know that whatever I contributed helped inspire what he did. And there was nothing so off-putting about it that you would assume that this world-class musician didn't do it. Like, yeah, kind of feels like Uyama, but, something's off about it. I mean, it's all right. Nah, they heard it and was like, yo, Uyama again, son. And I'm like, word, indeed. You know what I'm saying? So my man DJ Action always says, he was like, yo, gratitude is the great multiplier. So, man, I'm just gratefulness, man. Like, and I mean, that's been the biggest compliment with all the production stuff. People came in the studio, listened to the album. I told them before, I was like, yeah, man, this is a big deal because, I did all the production too. Had some contributors as well, like who play live instrument and all of that. But the core of it, it's me, you know what I mean? And then reaching out to them to add on. And even after saying that, bro, fam, like 2-3 tracks in, like, yo, the beat, son. Who did the beat? You know what I mean? Like, bro, like all the time. People who I literally tell that like 5 minutes before playing the record or like 10 minutes before playing the record. Like that's a huge, man. I think for some people they be in their feelings, but to me that's a huge compliment. That it's so good you just assume I ain't doing it. It's like, yo, because it speaks volumes about my growth. It speaks volume about how great of an engineer Tone is. Tone, I mean, yeah, I feel like these beats were still pretty dope before he touched them, but I hit him up for a specific reason, and he definitely elevated what I did sonically, and then added bells and whistles here and there, added like additional touches in some cases, maybe like added a certain, just like, maybe he added a cymbal in there that wasn't there before, or like mixed it a particular way that really brought out other things. But yeah, man. So it was it's a solo record, but it's a true collaboration. You know what I mean? Because it wouldn't be what it is without all of the people who contributed. So I'm grateful, man. Says, nah, I wouldn't mind a parody song of Take the Subway called Take the Survey. Yo, yeah, Take the Survey. That's hilarious. Oh my God. Uyama's Spanish guitar still manages to have a hint of Japanese sound. I love it. Yeah, man, he definitely killed it. I gotta head to work at 12, so I'll have to save my questions for next time. You lucked out, Stan. It's all good. It's all good. All right, have a great day at work, brother. All right. Let's see. Not sure if this was asked or spoken on, but on a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with the project? I'm loving it. Part of me wants to say 10, but I'm gonna say 9. And the reason why I say 9, because I would say the only low point of the project for me, the only part, it's not even disappointment. It's because I walked in knowing this was the case. Unfortunately, I don't have even with all of the pre-orders, even with people contributing, like making music is very expensive, right? If you look at what we raised in the campaign, like when I asked for $8,000 to do the campaign, that's me lowballing it, man. When I made Sacrifice, we spent about 40 grand to make Sacrifice. Okay, we spent 40 grand in 2007, 2006, 2007 when we started kind of really pushing forward with it. So 40 grand back then, and then Home is Where the Art Is. Roughly, we spent about, and when I say we, the label spent about 20 grand. If you include what I spent behind the scenes, then we're talking about another 30. I mean, talking about 30 total. So that being said, every time I make an album of this stature, right, when you see the collabs, people playing on it, this, that, and the third, yeah, and like manufacturing, all of the different costs, paying to get it mixed, mastered, all of that stuff. It's like, man, we talking about like an investment of like somewhere between $20,000 to $40,000 on average. Now, do I have to spend that much money to make these records? No, but I believe in paying the folks that want to be paid up front or want to be paid for their particular service or whatever, like in that way, as opposed to splitting on the back end. If that's what they want, and I definitely want them on it, I'm gonna pay them. You know what I mean? And obviously to get the physical merch is very costly. Like, I dropped almost 7 G's to get the vinyl manufactured, yo. You know what I mean? Now, granted, that was y'all too. Like we all chipped in, right? So that being said, just to make the record sometimes cost that much. The smallest part of the budget for this record was marketing. So although I feel like we've done a good job of getting the word out there, considering what the streams and sales are, because I've been with bigger labels and stuff, and the biggest difference between what's going on with this record and what went on with the stuff I did with them is not necessarily album sales or streams. It's more so the marketing, the promo. Like I'm not like on as many sites. Not maybe some new people are discovering, but not as much. It's more so a lot of people who've been sleeping for a while and haven't been maybe, in the loop in terms of what's been going on with me. So a lot of them have been circling back like, yo, man, this might be your best shit ever. And I'm grateful for that. So, yeah, I would say the one disappointing thing, again, my level's about 9. But when Tone Deaf sent me Salt and Pepper, when he sent me the mix of Salt and Pepper, I called him up and he's like, yo, what you think? Direct quote. You ready? This is what I said to him. I was like, yo, fuck you. And he was like, yo, why? What happened? And I told him, I was like, man, I am equally happy and sad in this moment. And he was like, that's weird, bro. Like, you good? Like, why? What happened? I'm sorry. And I told him, I was like, yo, I'm happy because this record sounds as amazing as I knew it could be. But I'm sad because I do not have the money to really, really push this record to be as big as it could be. So I know that I'm gonna have to do a ridiculous amount of legwork behind the scenes to push it, to keep pushing it. No pun intended. Shout out to Salt and Pepper. To push it as far as it can go based on the limited resources I have. Luckily, I know people in the biz and stuff. So I'm working on. I got to get a fixed version of the acapella. Tone, if you're watching this, I'm gonna be calling you soon. So I can send it out to different people to remix. And I'm planning on re-releasing that song and some of the other songs with the instrumentals and all of that. But that 1 out of the 10, it's really that. It's just that I'm grateful to the people who know, but I also know that the quality on this record is so high that if more people knew it exists, there'd be no question. I listen to as much music as a lot of y'all, probably not as much as some, but I listen to a lot of music. And all ego aside, I definitely feel like this is one of the better records that came out this year. You know what I mean? Especially in hip hop. There's not a lot of people touching on the subject matter that I touch on. And even the ones who do, there are, all cockiness aside, I think most people would say that they're even the ones who do sometimes aren't always as skilled as maybe I am when it comes to doing certain things. Like maybe the production ain't certain people's cup of tea, or maybe the bars ain't what it is. But all ego aside, my man Sherm the Barber said, he was like, yo, I almost feel like you don't know how special this record is. Like, you don't know how like big this record is. And I looked him in his face and I was like, nah, bro, I do. I'm just not saying it. Like, so what I'm saying to you right now is stuff I've largely kept to myself and tried to be humble about, because it's just like, for me, it's like, I don't want to be out here shouting that if it's not getting to the places it needs to get so it can actually be acknowledged as that. Because it just looks like, an arrogant person like feeling themselves and speaking highly of some stuff when they haven't done X, Y, Z. I know that we've done a lot, but I know there's a lot more to do, and it's not fully where I think the record should be, because I believe it's that. Like, it's not even, let me not say believe, because belief isn't knowing, right? Because you believe something because you don't know it, right? Yeah, the record's that good. I know it's that good, and have known, like, from while everything in me was very clear that this was the best thing that I had done. And so when you feel that way, when you know that in your heart that you've put that much effort in, and it's that clear, and most people who I've talked to about this record without me saying that to them have said that to me, that makes it a bit tough. So that's what that one point off is. But other than that, it's a 9, yo. I did everything I came to do. You know what I mean? If I never made another record again, we know that's not happening unless, the Most High got other plans. But if I never made another record again and this is where it stopped, I'd be okay with that. You know what I mean? But knock on wood, I got more to do, got more to say. So, yeah. All right. Let me catch up on these comments, and I'm going to get out the way. All right. Do you have a complete instrumental before you make the lyrics, or are they made together? So I wouldn't say a complete instrumental, but yeah, I write to music. So I always write the music now. Early in my career, like, sometimes punchlines and different things would just come to me, and then I just kind of work it out. And then if I had to be cool, and if I didn't, I just keep writing. But now, I have concepts before music comes sometimes. I have titles even. But, when the music comes, sometimes that music will give me a completely different concept. Other times I look at concepts and ideas that I've already written down but don't have lyrics for, and then see if there's anything that fits. But, like, for example, like your man, though, Your man though, I made a beat, and I was really really loving. It's funny. It was an old beat, man, that I didn't finish, where I just had the breakdown that how it starts. So it was just that. Let me make my. But yeah, so it was just that break, and I didn't really do anything else with it. And I was going through old beats, and I stumbled on that joint. I was like, damn, man, I need to finish this joint. So then I figured out the rest of the drum beat, give it that nice boom bap feel. And I had that piano sample already. And there was no bass line. There was no like little additional parts that came in yet. It was just the piano chop and the drums. That was it. And like not even all the drums, but the main drums. And then like one day I was just in here when I kind of cleaned it up and had that nice little sketch. I was like, man, ooh, this is so simple but effective, right? So then I was like, all right, bet. Let me go ahead and start writing. And so when I wrote it out, yo, like I got up to that yeah, man, I'm about to spit it, yo. I wish I had the beat just ready. But yo, lyrically, so this is how it came together. So I had the hook first. The hook is the only part of it that I did not write to the music, because I came up with that hook chilling with Sound of the City and DJ Two Tone. Shout out to Precious Joubert, Biscuit. I was doing a session with them recording a video for one of her tracks, and they were doing the beat, and I just finished watching Mandalorian earlier that day. And so that's why I said the line. I was freestyling. I was like, best kept secret, but the fam know. Trying to see a little green like Mando. And when I had that line, I was like, yo, that's a song. I gotta. So I wrote it down real quick. I typed it up in my phone. I was like, yo, and I just kind of kept it for later. And so then when I finished that sketch with the beat, again, this is an idea where I had the concept first, but I didn't write it until I had the beat. So I came back, started playing around with it, and then I wrote that hook, and I was like, okay, cool. And so then starting that verse, then fell more times than most have tried, traits of a winner. Since rockin' temper tape has been trying to taper my temper, a cooler head that's prevailing, but always ready to cook 'em. From Maryland, where I'm hellin', but I made my name in Brooklyn. Galaxy far away, some splash parties and cabarets. The home team colors of mustard and Cabernet, tagging up in alleyways, unsure if we'll graduate. Memories feel like an infinite loop, a Saturday cartoons and kung fu theater, seemingly unrelated. Till you realize some of the shit we've been kicking is animated for your edutainment. Only get better when I'm claiming. Reigning underground champ that never had an arraignment Wayman. Right? And so like I think I got, when I first started writing, I got right up to the two, probably like two measures before those last two lines I just dropped. But then I came back to it because I had this Harlem Renaissance line that I wanted to say. So it was like, Wayman, black of all trades, Renaissance stand, modern day Harlem Renaissance man, him and this fam. Yo, that shit right there so hard. Like, bruh, like there's so many lyrics in that joint I love. But yeah, when I wrote that little joint, black of all trades, Renaissance stand, modern day Harlem Renaissance man, him and his fam, some grown-ups that got more growing to do. 1 2 1 2, living the life I worked toward but never thought it carried through. What did you do? Some of your dreams come true. People look up to you, they see that you grew. Shit, it was hard to see, clearly within your view. Walking your truth, tapping the God within you. Nobody harder than you. When I walk in the booth, I knew what I do. Rhymes just flow from out of the blue and turn to the green. Know what I mean? Since the team been doing my thing, had to recharge when I'm back on the scene. I'm working harder than a machine, all a part of my daily routine, all or nothing, no in between, kind of extreme for you, but me being great, kind of my thing. So when I came up with that, because I didn't want to beat the loop too long with the general joint, like I didn't want it to loop too long, I was like, yo, I don't want to bring the hook back. I want the hook in terms of the music to come back, but I don't want to bring the chorus back. I wanted to start and end with the chorus, but just two, like, you know, one in the beginning and then a second time at the end, and then that's that. And so I was like, yo, but I want something that gives you that excitement when that switch comes in. So that's when I wrote that quick part where I switch up the flow. And so then after doing that, it was like, damn, now how do I follow that up? And it's funny, this last part of the verse, of that long verse, is really some of my favorite bars in it. And it's probably some of the most overlooked stuff. But But when it comes back and I say, part of my name, it say walk in the path we paved, cause our ancestors left the light on. Wrote our stories on stars when they couldn't find shit to write on. Krylon over Orion. Bro, fam. Krylon over Orion. Chosen to get a shine on, turn the mic on, watch me grip it with the strength of a python. I'm on my hero journey. I swear it's the stuff of legend that make men in the gods. And my birthday is on the 7th of January, which make me a goat. It must be destined, giving them what they needed and they ain't even requested. I must be like, yo, hey, like, so that whole section where it's like, you know, I mean, that whole Krylon over Orion, yo, like when I came with that, it was one of those, I put the device there, pushed it away from me like, hey, the ancestors speaking through me right now, son. So like, yeah, man, it was, yeah, it's one of those joints I think on the album that probably ain't for everybody, right? Like, because it's, I like it because it's a fine line of braggadocio and actually a little bit of my story. And then like, yo, you get like deeper stuff. Like it's thought provoking. It's so many things. It's not one thing. And it's really like, it's not a linear story per se. It's just like, yo, it's part of my journey. And so part of my journey is, you know, thinking about sacrifices that were made by others so we could be here. Thinking about like where I'm from and how that made me who I am. Thinking about times where I wasn't as confident in my ability, but pushed through and found a way, right? And yeah, and then there's lines about financial literacy. I mean, you know, trying to save a little green like Mando. Come on, son. Come on, son. There's a little bit of everything in there. So that was a lot of fun to write. And I know you didn't ask about that song specifically, but that gives you just a quick glimpse into the writing process. Warpath, I know you probably gone by now, but peace, fam. All right. Saw Chuck D giving you props on Insta, man. Yo, man, Chuck, man. Love Chuck, man. Shout out to Chuck. Loved them before all the props, but like it's you know, I'm grateful. You know what I mean? That's actually how I feel about Walking to the New Year. Great song that should get more. Yo, 100%. You know what I mean? Like you killed that joint. Marcus killed the beat. You know, them bars is pretty good too. That rapper on that joint, he's pretty solid. You know what I mean? You know, he be doing his thing sometimes. This is 10 in my opinion. It's a great blend of old school and new school, especially with the skits and interludes. Yo, thank you so much. The interludes / skits were a last minute addition. But I had I might post that whole video one day if the fellas say it's cool. But I had like this session where they were I was playing the rough version of the album for them. It was, I think we had like 1 or 2 mixes done. No, 3 mixes were turned in at that point. And I let them hear what I had, and it just got them talking. And then toward the end, I asked them some questions about certain things, and those were those answers turned into those interludes. All right, peace, fam. Got my package. The shirt is too big because I lost a lot of weight. I love it though. Oh man, well, congrats on the weight loss. I'm sorry the shirt's too big, but yeah, man. I hope you like the way it looks and feel though. All right, man, great answer. Appreciate the elaboration, for real, for real. You can be cocky this time. Laugh out loud. It's fantastic, Stan. Thank you so much, man. He said this time. He's like, yo, if you make some bullshit next time, I don't want all that cockiness. Sit your monkey ass there. Sit down, son. I don't hear that shit from you. All right. Hey, man, I appreciate the love, man. Thank y'all. All right. All right, let's see. Still ways to go. Legendary bars. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. These ain't bars. These are sermons. Okay, all right now. You know what I'm saying? Pastor Substantial. All right. Yo, but thank y'all, man. I appreciate all the love. I'm getting ready to get out of here, man. I could be on here with y'all all day, but I actually got to head over to Crescendo Studios. Shout out to Crescendo Studios. Doing an event over there. That's what I meant to show y'all. I forgot to bring that back up. Let me see if it's up here. And, of course, I don't see it. Let me go to their Instagram real fast. But, yeah, man, I got an event happening over at Crescendo. Got 2 events coming up with them. So I mentioned that I'm rocking at Anime USA with Shingo 2. And then in November 17th, me and A1 are doing the show. That show is hopefully going to be one of several shows that I'm able to do. I'm reaching out to some folks, man. Feet dragging a little bit, but I'm trying to get stuff together so we can get this tour, get like a short tour, at least East Coast, and maybe a couple spot dates other places, and then we'll circle back to do more. But here is this other event. I will show it to y'all real quick. So for those of y'all in the area, I will be doing a little something at the Forte Fest. Let me pop that up on the screen, make it bigger for y'all. But yeah, Forte Fest, hold on. Get some of this stuff out the way. There we go. So yeah, Forte Fest is September 16th. It's a Saturday. So yeah, man, would love to see y'all there. But on that note, I'm gonna get out of here. I got a phone call to take real quick and some other business to handle. But man, love y'all, man. Y'all have a great weekend. Y'all take care. Make sure you take the survey if you haven't already. All right, y'all be good, yo. Peace. Hey, thank you, Malik. I appreciate that comment, man. That means a lot. Thank you so much. All right, peace, everybody. Y'all have a great weekend. Take care.